Hi, I'm Miro. I'm a TNT champion.
This is Rachel Ellering, the Queen of Strong Smile.
I'm Eric Bischoff.
Live events, all right? When the WWE comes on the holiday tour, when they come to Ireland.
Or Davey Boy without hair braids.
As a fan with braids, as a dog without braids.
And you
Are watching
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam.
And you're watching WrestleSlam.
Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam. I'm joined by Jor, Elizabeth, and Phil for a massive show. Now, first of all, Aleister Black. They give him 2 or 3 different names when he made his debut with All Elite Wrestling. First of all, the crowd pop was incredible. I didn't really want to, skip and wait till the end to talk about this. This was definitely intro worthy. Crowd was incredible. Phil, first of all, the pop, I know you mentioned it in the WhatsApp group, and I keep saying WhatsApp group, Messenger, Facebook. It was really good to see him come out, and he really got a good pop.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same, would it, if it was just inside Daly's place with just those usual kind of, what are they? I call them marks, but those guys who just dance around and kind of mess about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same. It needed the crowd, and the only thing that annoyed me about it is that he kind of spoiled it himself by putting something out a few hours beforehand.
Mm.
Yeah.
If he just said nothing, that would have been absolutely incredible. Like,
Nobody
saw coming, and that's probably hard to do today.
Yeah. Well, he's the real deal. We obviously know Aleister Black from, obviously, WWE and stuff. Jor, he looks like an absolute killer. I think this guy could be, you know what I mean? I've always kind of rated him, but he could have that CM Punk status, as a, because he's a really good wrestler, first of all. But, his image and, his presence is just really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, WWE dropped the ball big time.
Yeah.
Last year, he was rumored to be beating Brock Lesnar before WrestleMania, before they changed their mind. That's how high up the card he should have been in WWE. He should have been able to beat somebody like Brock Lesnar. So they fucked up because he's going to bring in so many eyes. I know, they're saying, the viewers wasn't great. They were down on last week's numbers for AEW, but that's you implemented halfway through the show. The viewership went up by the end of the show.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to draw. If they book him right, I know they book him with Cody, they showcase him, but they don't need to do a Miro on him and build, slow burn him and give him a year of mid card crap and then eventually put the belt on him. He needs to go on. If Hangman Page doesn't beat Omega, I would put the fucking strap on him straight away and just push him to the moon, because he's unbelievable in the ring. He's just one of the most creative people backstage. The stuff he comes up with his own, all his own stuff. That video he put out before it was amazing. It was like something from the Joker movie. He was fucking killing the people in the fucking interview room. He's in this fucking padded room or something, where he's just going mad. And the eye gimmick, he brought it with him, which who would do that? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Creatively, he's a genius. Liz, you reckon we all know Aleister Black. Look, NXT, he was the king. WWE, look, we thought he was going to get that push, but then obviously they announced the releases and stuff. It's fair to say he's got that status. He's got a massive cult following. Everyone, I can only imagine, WrestleCon next year, where you're going to have all the Aleister Black. What is Aleister? What is it? Aleister
Malakai Black.
Yeah, you say Malakai. Yeah, it's.
Malakai. He's their adopted son now. He's Malakai. Yeah. Malakai from Skidmore.
The merchandise is going to be serious when it comes to him.
Amazing. There's no comparison between him and Darby Allin because they're on very, very different paths. But every kind of wrestling promotion has these figures that people look up to that aren't your run-of-the-mill norm, stereotypical old school wrestling icons. That kind of a way. They're not, and there's something different. And he was always that for me in WWE, particularly NXT. But there's such a tapestry of different personalities there and characters, but on the main roster he was, and it just goes to show that they didn't know what to do with him, which is such a shame because he was destined for stardom, and now he is destined for stardom. But isn't it amazing the difference between, okay, let's take a teeny bit of what Aleister Black, FKA, is doing and put it into his character on WWE, and then strike it over to the other side and let's take everything he's giving us and let's leave him run with it and see what he can do. I can't wait to see how he's going to pan out on AEW, and that they took so much, like, oh, that's character. It's him. He created it. And the fact that he was just kind of given almost free reign and just said, okay, let's see what this can do. You believe in this character so much. And Johnny with Jerry pushed him to the absolute moon. I know they say there's no competition. Go ahead, there's always competition. But like they dropped the ball majorly with him, and unfortunately it's down to old school thinking. We don't know what to do with him. Like, he's not a Papa Shango, you know what I mean? He's not a freak, you know, he's not. So, you know, he's different, he's unique and special, and I'm so glad that it's been realised elsewhere and they've been taken out and spanked in front of the world. I'm glad.
Well, I absolutely love it. Like, and I was even thinking there with the feuds and stuff, like he can feud with anyone. Like imagine like a prime Sting versus Alistair. Like imagine like even Darby Allin, like Omega. Like he feuds with everyone. Miro, like he's in a good feud. Like anyone you put him in with, it's a good feud. Like,
yeah, for sure. He's a striker. Do you know what I mean? He is a striker. There's no doubt by trade, as we say here. You know, he is a striker, but he married that seamlessly with a traditional wrestling style as well. So he has everything, and I'm delighted for him. Feared of my life for Zelina Vega, I'm not going to lie. I often feel we're taking the old Lana route, and I feel so bad for her. But
yeah, that's actually an interesting intake. Like, and like, you know, like the fact she went back and he goes to All Elite Wrestling. I wonder what actually happened there, like, because it's
very clever.
Massive paper.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'd say it's probably double what she was on before.
Mm-hmm.
But
Played WWE big thing. She signed a contract with big money, and they didn't realize that Alistair was on a 30-day non-complete. They thought he was still 90 days, and they might get him back. Like, sign her up and he'll come back, not knowing that he had already signed with AEW. When she came back, they suckered them in, and unfortunately, if they find out Zelina knew about that, she's going to get punished. I feel sorry for her, but you know, she's getting paid. You know, she's on a big contract. Hopefully they fucking use her, but I hope they don't punish her for it. But if that's the way it worked out, fucking hell, God help her.
And like we spoke about Zelina last week, obviously when she came back. It's probably fair to say she's not gonna get a title run. Like,
she wasn't even on SmackDown this week.
No.
Yeah, what's that?
Gone again.
It's such a bitchy industry, why not? It's fucked up.
Oh, I need a job. I need a fucking job in it, mate. I tell you, I'd show him bitchy.
Well, she has her own thing, like, you know what I mean? So why would you, like, you know what I mean? We've seen it with Lana and Rusev / Miro, like, why the fuck would you do that, like, do you know what I mean? What is it, like, why do you have to bring her back? She loses a match then.
There must have been something in her contract to say, like, once she signs this one, they can't, you know, fucking release her. Like, they have to give her notice instead of just dropping her. Like, that was something that they were trying to bring in before, that you can't just sign a contract with
a no cut clause.
Yeah.
No cut clause.
Yeah, Larry was talking about that on Talk of Jericho.
Yeah, and what was what was the thing about I didn't read it properly. Long story short, I was in the midst of reading it before my dead, but Alistair Black was talking to Vince about a new team.
Yeah.
And Vince turned around and said, like, I read it there, what the fuck would I know him when he's 74 years old? So was it more reference to Vince actually liking it or disliking it?
Oh, he just doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
It's not AC/DC, like, you know, that's all Vince listens to, like, as you can tell.
A perfect example of how that company is so messed up is they were building up Tegan Knox for weeks, and then they're like, oh, she's going to SmackDown.
Knox.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, no, Vince McMahon just doesn't watch NXT, and it's very, very sad to see, to be honest.
Yeah, it's mad. But they obviously made their debut, good tag team match against Natalia and stuff. They look good. I think they can.
They can, but like they're promoting them as Shakti and Knox, which is
yeah,
that's the whole thing.
They needed another tag team.
Yeah,
they broke up all the other tag teams.
Yeah, Nixon Newell to Tegan Knox. No, Nixon Newell to Tegan Knox is a decent switch. That's not bad. I take that any day. But like,
yeah, but they're not calling her Tegan Knox. I think it's just Knox.
Yeah, but just call her Tegan instead of just Knox.
Yeah, Tegan's better, really, isn't it? Tegan.
Yeah, but I guarantee it'll be like she'll have some stupid gimmick. You know, it's School of Hard Knocks or some crap like that.
My brother was on about it. Why did you come up with Ember Moon? Well, I can guarantee you, Vince is like, she was here already. We're not doing that again.
Ember didn't want to come back up.
Yeah.
Triple H saved her career, brought her back.
Yeah.
I remember her debut on Raw after WrestleMania. She got a great pop, and I think she came out and she tried to wrestle Nia Jax or something. I think Nia Jax was the champion. But, truly lost the ball. Bayley. Now look, Bayley's is making headlines right now. I was watching this segment where Bianca Belair came out. Obviously, we see Liv Morgan in the ring, and Liv. What I said last week, we thought Liv's match has been taken away from her, but obviously it didn't. Carmella's going to face Bayley. Carmella's going to face Bianca. But then Bianca came out and said, I don't know if the injury's fake or not. Phil, I'm going to go to you because you're a Bayley fan. Is it legit, or because I didn't see nothing really happen, like, you know what I mean? And obviously, look, there was reports came out and stuff. Like, do you reckon it's all a play, or do you reckon she's actually injured?
Oh, she's legit. Apparently, she got injured in the PC.
Yeah. You don't reckon? Why would Bianca say that though?
I think just WWE telling her to say whatever just to get around it.
The food.
I think they're actually genuinely pissed off because I reckon that Bayley was fighting Becky at SummerSlam and they don't know what to do now. They're panicking.
Well, she was. I reckon. I think we all agreed that Bayley was probably going to beat Bianca.
No way.
You don't think it was going to happen?
No, I don't think so. I think that it worked out perfectly for them that they didn't have to beat Bayley at this stage. I think Bianca and Sasha is definitely happening at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
No way.
Nobody likes it.
Sasha coming back. You know, they're not going to have Sasha and Bayley again at SummerSlam.
No.
Sasha has to get a title match.
Yeah.
But Becky's due back as well.
Yeah, but she'll end up in Raw.
Yeah, she'll go to Raw. It's it's interesting because look, Bayley was really, really. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah.
These last few months.
Strongest part of SmackDown. Like, she should be kept on the show at some point doing commentary.
Yeah. She should keep her
thing down
the low show segments. There's no reason why she can't.
Yeah, no, she's pretty good. She is very good, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see what will the outcome be. As you know, like there's pay-per-views just around the corner and stuff. Yeah, like SmackDown. Look, we have to speak about one of the Usos, obviously being a naughty boy. We've seen a little segment on SmackDown. You know, Jimmy J, Roman, the big hug at the end. There was like a real heart-to-heart as well between Jimmy and Jay, which was interesting. I said he probably came straight from the cell to SmackDown, like.
Apparently it was unscripted. It wasn't even that part of the script that he kind of went off script for that segment. Like, you know, you actually felt him embrace him properly. Like, it was a real proper fucking moment. So
you felt it was real, yeah. It's like he really needs to get his shit together, like, because I think that's the second or third time now in the last 24 months or something. It's not encouraging. Do you know what I mean? I've seen the video as well, and it's probably come at the wrong time. Like, you know what I mean? Do you reckon Vince is going to be a bit pissed?
Yeah, everyone is.
Yeah, Roman's probably pissed too, like, you know what I mean? Because they're working so hard to create, like, you know, a really long storyline and stuff.
No, he's only back. He's only been back a month or so.
Yeah.
And I'd say they have to bring Jay back early because of it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. And you know what? See, Jerry, before you go on, to the dickheads on Twitter and all social media telling Naomi to go and kill herself. Yeah. And all this bullshit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly. Yeah, you see what's happening in the news and the dirt sheets and shit like this. But you have no idea how she and he must be feeling. And you think you have the right to turn around and tell her to go kill herself because she didn't stop him. You haven't a fucking clue what's going on behind closed doors. So go back, buy some deodorant, have a fucking wash, get out of your mother's fucking basement and back the fuck off. You haven't a fucking clue. Assholes.
You're right, 100%. I've seen that. I know she's gone off social media. Yeah, it's a joke. As you say, look, in the world that we live in today, we have many keypad warriors, not just around the world, but in every part of the world. And as you say, you described it perfectly, Liz. Probably some big, sweaty, you know, fucking guy that just sits down all day and talks shit.
You went and Jeff and Jericho were doing the promo, and he reaching out to Jim Cornette to have some kind of validation or accreditation just to say, oh, did you see what I did? The whole world did, and we all think that you're a fantastic.
I love how he put him in his place as well. I love how Jim, like, put him in his place.
Ripped him.
Yeah.
Ripped him, and he should have.
Yeah, I think he was definitely expecting Jim to take his side, like, but he wasn't long fucking put him in his place, like, do you know what I mean? And, like, I don't understand why they always target the greats, like, you know, Bret Hart, Jericho. Why the fuck would you bother, like, you know?
I think he just kind of wanted to just show himself up and gain publicity because first day back. And trying to.
And did you see Justin Roberts? Like, he was stood in there, grabbed him by the legs and pulled him straight off the stage while the security had him in a headlock.
Yeah. No, it's look.
Remember years ago when in WWE where Macho Man absolutely slapped the guy around the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Triple H.
Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
Earl Hebner beat the crap out of some fucker, and that Triple H and Stone Cold match, he started kicking him in the stomach while he was in the ground.
Yeah, Stone Cold spoke about it years later and said, you know, like, he's got my back and shit. Like, but yeah, Triple H didn't go lightly. Like, he definitely fucking went.
Oh yeah, they beat the crap out of him. That's sacred ground to them. Like, that's like
ruined it, like, absolutely. And it's, you know what? As a wrestling fan, it makes us look like fucking idiots. Do you know what I mean? Like, trying to enjoy the product. Yeah, we critique it and stuff like that because as a fan, that's our right. But personal feelings and, you know, their personal lives.
Yeah.
Not touchable to me or to any of us at all. Do you know, yeah, whatever they post is open to us, but that's not for scrutiny by us, by wrestling fans. It's not their personal life. We all know how wrestling works. It's horrific. How you get enjoyment out of that is fucking beyond me.
The ring ropes are force fed. Do you ever see, you know, segments where the wrestlers run away and they're stuck inside the ring and they can't run after them, you know? Fans shouldn't go the other side of the ropes. Like, you shouldn't be, unless you're invited in, like, you shouldn't be anywhere near the other side of those ropes.
Not a bit.
At all.
It's disrespectful.
Wasn't it Sabu there years ago? Remember Sabu hopped the railing and smacked some fella, like.
Yeah.
On Sabu.
That was mad.
There was one with Linda McMahon as well years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Someone hit Linda, yeah?
Like, she was giving a promo. I think Triple H actually dived on top of the guy again.
And you know what Triple H
it's happened way too many times.
Yeah, I think the security probably got a really bad air full of shit then after that as well. It's interesting. That's Thunderdome, no more. It's been good when it lasted. They've done a really good job to keep us entertained for so many weeks. And look, the Thunderdome is actually really cool. But fans are back. I'm going to be watching wrestling next week for sure. I've always kind of stayed up, but I think with the fans back now, it's just, back to normality. And I know we're all going to get to a WrestleMania at some stage in the next year or two, but it's great fans are back, guys, and it's great that the live shows are back. Joe, you excited about the crowd pops and stuff? Big time.
Even watching AEW, like, was like, oh, the goosebumps, like that moment for Aleister Black or Malakai. You know, you had that kind of bumpy moment, like, fuck, you know, finally what we've been waiting for. So SmackDown next week should be good. Raw's obviously still in the Thunderdome because it was pre-taped. Yeah. But I can't wait for Money in the Bank.
Raw should stay there.
Money in the Bank is definitely top 3, top 4 pay-per-views of the year. Like, it's better than Survivor Series, so it's going to be massive. Like, and
it is.
I hope there's some surprises.
They'll have to do it. They'll have to.
There's one woman unnamed yet in the women's one, like, so they haven't filled up.
2?
No, was it?
I think there's 2, yeah, 2. Like, so that might give us an idea for SummerSlam with the ladies who are unnamed as of yet. So, Raw can stay in the fucking Thunderdome. Vader, lock the key, burn the fucking place down. Take all the nice wrestlers that move them onto SmackDown, but burn fucking Raw down. Jesus Christ.
We'll have Shelley Lesnar.
Stephanie McMahon had a big meeting this week.
Yeah, I think they're trying to sign up some guys. Obviously, look, I think it's fair to say Brock will be back soon.
I don't know. I honestly
They want him to go on the road.
Yeah.
Him and Bobby has to be, surely. Him and Bobby.
Yeah.
I don't see who Bobby can fight, to be honest with you, looking at the Raw roster.
SummerSlam.
No, they can't. And they've lost the plot completely with Drew. They've completely lost the plot. They are totally running out of ideas. We've gone from this Scottish psychopath to fucking groundskeeper Willie. You know what I mean? That's what we, and I'm just like, what is going on here? You know, it's just gone from, like, you know, this absolute maniac to, hey, my deal with the tooth, and now stop it, Jesus Christ. If he was any more stereotypical, I just like, your ass clinches watching it. It's not bad, you know. So Drew needs to go away. Not his fault, but they need to stop trying to milk the life out of this, and he needs to come back reinvented before they ruin him.
Yes, like
we need heel. Yeah, we need heel Drew.
He's done his pro the last 2 years, to be fair. I suppose he has carried the belt, but they are truly running out of ideas, which is not good. It's not good.
Yeah. Shows.
So live shows are back, lads. We know they're back in the UK as well. Towards the end of the year. So I'm assuming if we're all vaccinated and stuff, we could probably get over there, like, which should be interesting. But it's good for the UK fans, Phil, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Like I don't know. Is there fans at this Walter match? I don't think there is. That's coming up.
Sure. I don't think so.
Yeah, surely he won't lose.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is though, because I know in England, obviously they've lifted everything, like, in a sense.
Oh yeah, but I think all these were taped, weren't they, like months in advance? All these UK shows.
Yeah.
But there's a big match Walter in Dragunov, and the thing is, we all want Dragunov to win, but not in front of no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs the pop.
But yeah, I reckon we might get a UK show in January.
Yeah, like a Raw SmackDown, like.
No, like a takeover.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice. Yeah. There's tickets off alright for UK shows, isn't there?
Isn't there a WWE tour in September in the UK? No?
Yeah. There's 4 dates, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. There's talks, guys, that Impact is going to move to Las Vegas. Interesting. It makes sense, in my opinion, because look, Vegas is always booming. Like, surely if they move Impact out to Las Vegas, they'll have a decent attendance once a week because of the fact it's the Mecca of America, like Vegas.
Depends what day of the week. If it's pre-recorded or it's going to be live, they need to figure that out and find a network to
There's talks they want to go live, which is interesting. I think they're happy
enough.
Yeah.
Pre-tape shows are a thing of the past. Like, it's not the same. Like, spoilers come out fucking straight after the show, and nobody wants to watch it then because you already know what happens. Like, so
and with last week's show only getting 69,000 viewers, I imagine they don't want
to do something. Like, you can't beat around the bush.
Well, as they said, like, Kenny needs to lose that belt ASAP.
Yeah, well, as we know, look, Slammiversey is upon us and stuff, and I reckon personally Sammy's going to beat him. And obviously we spoke to Moose, and Moose, we could have mentioned something about Daniel Bryan, and Moose kind of just got very defensive. He was like, I didn't know he was a free. Like, he's out of contract, isn't he, Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And Moose said he didn't know he was out of contract, so I don't know.
I reckon there could be 3 or 4 surprises.
Yeah.
Bit of the tea, Moose. Bit of the tea.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting. Like, it's as I said,
Dion has a huge match.
Yeah, and a surprise.
Surely it's Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
That's my thought too, Chelsea Green.
Do you
I can't
reckon?
think of anyone else.
Mickey James, I reckon. But
You reckon Mickey James?
Yeah.
She's starting under a lot of stuff with fucking NW at the minute. She's trying to promote her own women's pay-per-view, isn't she? At the end of
with Chelsea Green as the main event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have Omega, Sammy, singles match. Diana to be announced.
Yeah.
Sabian versus Moose, Alexander, P.D. Williams, Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Rohat, Fire and Flavor versus Havoc and Rosemary, Eddie Edwards versus W. Morrissey. We didn't know if Morrissey was going to be coming back or not, but clearly he's still involved in Impact. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I reckon at the end of the Omega match and Sammy match, someone's going to come up, 100%. And if it's Omega retaining that title, I fancy Bryan to come out. I'm going to say it right out. Like, I think Daniel Bryan will come out, but you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, Danny loves to wrestle. We know that. He loves to wrestle. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, I think we said there last week, he'd probably end up in Japan or somewhere for a couple of matches. But I don't know. Jar, can you see it happening? Can you see Daniel Bryan at Impact? No? Stick it to the guns.
I think he's way too big at the minute for Impact. I don't think he wants to be in a promotion where he's going to be there full time or a champion. Like, I think he just wants to go and wrestle people he hasn't wrestled before. One-off matches, and go back home for a couple of months and then find somebody else. Like, but I'm sick, and we never got to see Daniel Bryan and Aleister Black in WWE in a proper feud. So who knows where he'll end up? Like, but Aleister Black or Malakai or Tommy End, whatever you want to call him, like, there was talks of him going to Japan as well. Like, so once borders open, once everything reopens again, like,
but that whole
he's all elite, but doesn't stop him going to Japan and wrestling because there's no reason why he couldn't go over there and take any of the titles. They've been doing that with AEW, with Moxley and Omega anyway. Like, so there's no reason why he couldn't do it. So maybe he'll get that in the future.
Yeah, and like Forbidden Door is a beautiful thing, like so, like as you say, if he does go to Japan, that opens the door for him to make an appearance at All Elite, like you know what I mean, just a one match like here now, you know.
Doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be signed to any contract. He won't sign a contract with any promotion anyway. He'll just make one-off appearances.
Yeah, no, he's better off. No, lads, on Twitter last night, right, there was a lot of people saying Conor McGregor now should fuck off and go to WWE.
Oh yeah,
do some wrestling. Right now, we all know what the outcome was. Like obviously he broke his ankle and stuff, and I think it was a part of it of his leg he broke. But like there was always links for Conor going to do stuff with Vince and do stuff in wrestling. Do you think it's good for business, or is it just something that'll never happen, Joe?
At the minute, it wouldn't be good for business if he's got a broken foot. I thought if he had a beat Dustin, like he may have showed up at SummerSlam, you know, but he's not going to show up anywhere for a while until his leg is better. He's not going to be happy how it ended, like.
No, yeah, like we've seen the after conference and stuff, and Dustin says they're going to fight again, even if it's on the street of Dublin. Like it's mad. Like Liz, what's your take on McGregor? Like, would you like to see him in a wrestling ring, or do you think it's just bad for business?
I still want to see him wrestle. I'd like to see him as Jimmy Mouse of the South. To be honest with you, because he talks the talk and he walks the walk. That's where I think he fits the walk. That's where I think he fits in. You know, I don't think I don't want to see him wrestle because look, we all know why UFC have him, okay? Because it's not just the skill, it's the whole package, you know, and he draws eyes because of him, his personality, his presence, etc., whatever you want to call it. But I don't want to see people who've worked really, really hard to create their characters, develop their skills, fine-tune their in-ring ability to job out to him.
No.
I don't want to see it.
Imagine him as a mouthpiece for Parker Bordeaux.
Right? You mean that, you know, what they're trying to do with Eve Marie, that's what they, you know what I mean? That's who Conor McGregor should be. And, like, you know, but just a little bit better and invested in it a little bit more. Let's not go down that road talking about that rubbish. But, yeah, I see him as a mouthpiece. I don't want to see my favourites job out to make him look big.
Agree. So, Phil, is your opinion the same? You don't want to see him in the ring?
It's the same as Randa, like.
Yeah. She was a good wrestler, to be fair, I'll give her that.
Oh yeah, but I'd say he'd be decent enough after a few months as well. But like, I think there's like a mouthpiece. Parker Bordeaux would be good because he's kind of, you could integrate MMA style into his movesets.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting. It really will be interesting. Lads, what about Moxley and his new look?
We haven't seen it yet.
Trying to copy Jer. Like when you look at Jorah's beard, he's trying to definitely replicate your beard anyway. First of all, I know that. No, I know he shaved his head, but he's seen Jorah in WrestleSlam a few weeks back and said, "Fuck, I want that beard." So his beard's quite decent, but the bald head look is a bit interesting.
Now on, he's back this week.
Yeah, he's back, and I know. I think Carl Anderson says he wants to fucking knock him out as well. So Carl one of the run matches.
Are the Good Brothers come back to Japan? Are they gone from Impact after this Slammiversary?
I don't know.
The talk is the air, yeah. Yeah, I think that's obviously.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good sign that Kenny's dropping the belt.
Hopefully.
You know, dropping all of them. All of them. Rampage, let's go. Let's fucking go. Cowboy shit.
Speaking of AEW, that coffin match, I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you, Phil. It's as you say, we've had a shit couple of weeks when it comes to wrestling. Now, Alistair, why can't this
Malakai Black, yeah.
Malakai, right? That was obviously huge for business, right? And then obviously, look, Bailey getting injured was really bad. I'm hoping it's just a work. We're still not 100% sure. Yeah, no, it's interesting, but
they have the draft then as well after SummerSlam, so it's all going to pick up.
Yeah. SummerSlam's going to be huge. I'm going to put my house on it, lads. That it's going to be. It has to be. They have to go all out. Like I think Vince will really splash the cash if it means Brock is there and Cena's there, and I think it'll have to be. It'll have to be one of the biggest SummerSlams of all time. Now I don't know how it's going to be match wise. Like if you look at all the previous SummerSlams, they're incredible, but I know Vince is going to throw the money at it, lads. I'd say Brock, Cena's there. I'd say Roman. You know the Usos, they're going to fall out. We're going to see some crazy shit, like. So, interesting time today. Yeah.
I think it's just, as you said, this is going to just throw money at it, and there's going to be a lot of storylines that do not make sense. It's just for that initial pop of our first proper main pay-per-view, because I don't think they're taking Money in the Bank too serious when the crowds are back. So it's going to be great for the buzz, but I think the Raw afterwards, Raw kind of going to be a little bit like, what? Because we're not really sure what's going to be happening. And Jesus Christ, the day that Vince went to NXT, I hope to Christ half of them called in sick. Because I'd be like, I'm not going anywhere near that fucking roster. No fucking way. So, yeah, interesting to see.
Adam Cole is the next one that's rumoured to be going off.
God help Adam Cole. Is he the one person that can break the duck? I'm watching Keith Lee on Facebook and stuff, and he's putting out real kind of cryptic messages. Yeah. Is Adam Cole the one to break the duck, guys? Is Adam Cole the one to actually go up and just win it all? Like,
I think you have to push him to the moon and make sure you don't lose.
Yeah. So the way Seth Rollins had the backing of the authority. Do you know what I mean? They will have to believe and invest 100% in Adam Cole, and I don't think Vince is there yet for him to be a success on the main roster and be that Seth Rollins-esque person. Yeah. But I'm worried that it's not there yet, and why didn't he go up already? So there's definitely, I think there's some stalling tactics behind the scene. He should be up by now, I think, but
he's too small.
I could imagine
Karrion Kross coming up with Scarlett.
Yeah, I can imagine Vince, Triple H. What's the story with Adam Cole? I could probably see Triple H saying he's injured. He knows he doesn't watch it. Like, he's injured. He's injured.
But you reckon that Gargano's going to win on Wednesday, Tuesday night? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gargano's going to go up as well. I think his time is almost done in NXT.
Oh,
he's there so long. Like, how many years has he been out? Like,
years.
Yeah, he's going to go up. Like, what's left for him to do? Like, you know, what's left for him to do? I don't know. Interesting. But look, as I say, guys, it's been a great episode as always. Thank you very much for tuning in. Jura's doing a little jig. Love it. Jura, honor as always, my man. Liz, honor as always. Phil, thank you very much. Guys, we will be back next week for a massive show, so do stay tuned. Until then, be safe, have a good one, and we'll catch you soon.
Take care, bye, guys.
Hey, guys.